This lady thinks she did nothing wrong. Her husband has been working very hard at his job, and he finally got a huge promotion, and she's so proud of him. Her husband's parents are super proud too, and they wanted to take everyone out to dinner to celebrate. Well, there's this prime rib place that her husband absolutely loves, so that's what he chose. But the thing is, this lady says she's not a big fan of steak. She'll eat it, but very rarely. She said she prefers chicken or fish. Well, it was the night of the dinner, and she looked up the menu before leaving. The place only had 1 fish entree and 2 chicken entrees, and none of them sounded good to her. So she asked him,
"Hey, I was thinking maybe you can pick a different place so that, all of us can eat."
"We never go to this place. It's my favorite. Can't you just ask the server to prepare the food in a way you like?"
"I don't want to annoy the servers and the kitchen staff."
"Well, how about you order a dessert while we all eat our entrees, and then after dinner, I'll take you to some place that you like."
"No, I'm just gonna stay home. You go."
"Can you please just deal with it and go? I want to celebrate with everyone that I love."
"I'm not going, I'm sorry. But you and the kids should leave now. I don't want you to be late."
So her husband and the kids left, but they came back only 30 minutes later with bags of packaged food. She asked them why they were back so soon. He said he felt weird about her not going to the restaurant, so he ordered the food to go and just talked to his parents in the parking lot for a little bit. He was very sad, and he went to bed a little angry. She thinks she did nothing wrong. I think she was being incredibly selfish. How about you? The dumbest ways people made money. This woman needed some extra money, so she went on Craigslist. She saw an ad that said, "Allow me to film you shaving your head. The pay, $600. I'm definitely interested. She then met up with this dude in a parking lot somewhere, and he filmed her shaving her head. And she made $600. Up next, this kid and his friend were 12 years old. They were walking to 7-Eleven when a car comes out of nowhere and hits his friend. "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, are you okay?" This kid's friend wasn't hurt at all. He wasn't even hit that hard, but this guy was tweaking. "Don't call the cops, okay? What do you want? Anything. 20 bucks? 20 bucks each." "Okay, fine, yeah, here, 20 and 20. Okay, we good?" Honestly, they should have asked for way more. When this kid was 10 years old, he lived next to this woman who had a pet parrot. This woman worked all the time, and the parrot was alone most of the day. Well, this lady was worried that her parrot was lonely and depressed, so she paid this 10-year-old kid 25 bucks every day after school to go into her house and read her parrot a story. And then the princess poisoned all of the elves in the city until they all died. I bet you like that story. GPT was supposed to destroy his business. However, business is still booming. An article was just released. It's about this service called Killer Papers. It's a tutoring and essay writing service. KP, the man behind this business, started it way back in high school, where he would write essays for his classmates. For $20 to $30 a piece, athletes and rich kids were having him write their papers. Everyone was happy and everyone stayed in good academic standing. However, he found himself in the principal's office a lot. So, to avoid any further trouble, he shut the business down. Fast forward 6 years, he graduates college and he couldn't stand the job he was in. So, he started this business. Fast forward another 6 years, and at the end of November 2022, he was doing 7 figures in annual revenue. Well, now with the rise of artificial intelligence and services like ChatGPT, people are wondering, how is this going to affect your business? There's no way you can stay in business. This is the end for you, buddy. And he was definitely worried. It was panic time. He had no idea what he was going to do, but he didn't back down. People on his Instagram were sending him DMs, mocking him, leaving comments. It was brutal, but he adapted. Instead of getting defensive, he made fun of himself on his own social media. People loved the honesty, and they began defending him. He then adjusted spending around his company. He was trying to save money everywhere. He then used AI himself. He used AI to assist with payroll and accounting, and it helped save time and money. All of this topped by the fact that universities and teachers were cracking down on AI-written essays. And just like that, for now, him and his business are back on track. There's so much more in the article. You can read it right here. Gotta respect the hustle. This person was a senior in high school. The biggest fight anyone's ever seen broke out in one of the hallways. Kids were packed in there. Everyone was shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." People were so tightly packed, they couldn't even see. And when the teachers tried to break it up, they couldn't even get through to break it up. So the school called the police. 15 minutes later, 10 police officers show up and they start shoving their way through the crowd. When they got to the middle, it wasn't a fight that was happening. It was 2 students sitting on the ground playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots. When the police and the teachers realized that it wasn't actually a fight happening, all the students burst out laughing. Sounds like the best senior prank ever. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. A kid at this guy's school knew how to pick locks, and he was pretty good at it. Well, one day he had an idea for how to make some extra money. He started telling everybody in his school that he knew how to pick locks, and if they ever wanted to break into somebody's locker and steal something, they could always come to him. He would charge $5 to pick one lock and $8 to pick two, and business was booming. Apparently, that school was filled with a bunch of thieves. Well, as you can imagine, one day a teacher caught him in the act. He was forced to pay the school $1,200 in damages, and he had to somehow return all of the items that people had stolen from other kids. Food that tastes better burnt. Corn, shrimp, breakfast sausages, asparagus, marshmallows for s'mores, corned beef and hash, baked macaroni and cheese, Cheez-Its, octopus, bread, brownies, grilled cheese, pot stickers, baby, popcorn, Brussels sprouts, creme brulee, rice, chicken, carrots, and cheese. This guy thinks what he's doing is normal. I don't think it is. This dude is 20 years old and he lives alone. Growing up, his mom kept their house pristine, incredibly clean 24/7, and that has stuck with him. So recently, when he had moved into this new place by himself, he couldn't help but to think, how many germs from the outside do we attract into our houses via our clothes? And that thought messed with him. So every time he would come inside the house, he would immediately change clothes and throw the other ones in the washing machine. Well, he realized that whenever he had guests over, they wouldn't do that. Obviously, why would they bring a change of clothes to hang out at his apartment? So, a month ago, he bought a bunch of long, clear raincoats. But recently, he had invited a friend over to his apartment. So, do you have a change of clothes? No. Why? You have to wear this raincoat then, before you sit down anywhere. You've got to be f***ing kidding me. I'm serious. Peace. His friend left and hasn't answered any of his calls since. He thinks his friend is overreacting. What do you think? Craziest coworkers ever. This person used to work an office job, and he said he had this one coworker. At first glance, this guy was very normal, and he was super good at his job. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, Carl, how you doing? Hey, great job on that report last week, man. Steven, thank you, I appreciate it. Well, one day, they were all working when they heard police sirens and noticed police were parked outside the building. That one coworker then stood up and said, I'm pretty sure the cops are here for me. So I'm gonna go out there and talk to him. He left the building and he was arrested on sight. Turns out this guy unalived his landlord and ate his corpse. You never really do know someone, huh? This is the craziest story ever. When this girl was 6 years old, she was at Dairy Queen with her mom and her brothers. Well, her mom had to change the baby's diaper. So she went up to a guy sitting by himself at one of the tables and she asked, Hi, yeah, I have to go change my baby's diaper. Can you just watch my two kids for me, please? Yeah, that's totally fine. The mom had seen this man around before, and he seemed nice, so she thought it was safe to leave her kids with him. She got done changing the baby's diaper, got the kids from this man, got their ice cream, and went home. Well, a few weeks later, they were watching the news. This just in, a child murderer has been arrested and charged with 6 counts of first-degree murder. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. Turn it up, honey. His name is Brock Popovich, and this is what he looks like. That's right, the man that she left her kids with that day at Dairy Queen turned out to be a murderer. Needless to say, they all got very lucky that day. Hey Chad, what do you want, Kyle? I'm not in the mood today. I don't give a crap what mood you're in, buddy. I'm not your buddy, Kyle. Oh, I know. Remember what you did to me 2 years ago at that school dance? No? You pushed me on the ground, you forced me to eat 6 chocolate chip cookies, and you slapped me in the face with a piece of lunch meat. Yeah. Oh yeah. Can I just go now? No. You know what happens next, Chad. No. Yeah. Don't slap me. I have to. No. My mom saw you at the pet store last night with your mom. Were you getting a goldfish? Yeah. Well, I'm gonna slap you so hard that your goldfish will feel it in his tank. Hey bro, so I think I'm gonna ask Stacy to the dance. Bro, good for you, dude. You deserve it. But you might want to act quick because, look, no, they call me Mr. Suave. No, I'm kidding. But I am suave though. I'm super suave. Let's just say I lift about, 110 on a good day. You know what? I'm going up there. Hey Stacy. Oh, hey Kyle, what are you doing? What are you doing here, loser? Stacy, quick question. Are you inflatable? No. Why? Oh, did you hear that, Chad? She's not your type. I only bought one of those dolls and it was a joke. Yeah, right. You're just saying that in front of Stacy because you hate me. Oh, no. I'm not saying I hate you. What I'm saying is, if you were dying, I would unplug your life support to charge my phone. Stacy, you, me, dance Friday? What do you say? I will see you there. Bye, Stacy. Weird things people did as kids. When this girl was around 6 years old, she lived in England. And for some reason, she thought that the Queen of England installed tiny cameras in her bathroom to make sure she was being a proper lady while she used the facilities. So every time she used the bathroom, she made sure to sit up straight, fold the toilet paper neatly, and say, "Thank you, Miss Queen," after she had finished. What a weird kid. But hey, if I thought the Queen was watching me poop, I'd have done the same thing. This person's dad is wild. When this kid was 6 years old, he went to the gas station with his father. They were very low on gas. So low, in fact, that the car ran out of gas right when they pulled up to the pump. When he got inside to pay, he realized, oh my gosh, I forgot my wallet. Okay. The thing is, I ran out of gas, so I can't leave here. Dad? Hold on, buddy. Can you just put $20 on the pump? I'll fill it up. I'll be right back with the money, though. Okay, but how do I know that you're not just gonna take the free gas and never come back? Like, I'll leave my kid here, okay? I'll leave my kid here with you. I'll go get the money, come back, and I'll take my kid, all right? My kid is collateral. Dad, no. All right, fine, yeah. Okay, I'll be back. The dad eventually came back, but that kid wasn't sure for a second. He was stranded at this gas station with a strange man for over an hour. Needless to say, he was terrified. This person had terrible luck. Years ago, this person broke his right foot. Call an ambulance. My foot's broken. After going to the hospital and weeks of having his foot in a boot, he was leaving the last appointment at the orthopedics office with his boot off and his 2 feet healthy and free. Finally, he was walking to his car when he suddenly tripped. And believe it or not, he broke his other foot. He had to go to the hospital, get his foot in a boot, and do this situation all over again. This is the weirdest kid ever. The person that shared this story said that there was a weird kid that went to their high school. It was a very big high school, more than 3,000 students. If anyone said anything to this kid that he didn't like, he would stare at you dead in the eyes and recite your address. Can you hurry up, Steven? I want to use the water fountain too. 4776 West Branch Avenue. Steven, no sleeping in class. 417 Billiards Lane. Yo, Steven. Nice hat, idiot. Your parents are divorced, right? Yeah, why do you care? Your mom's house, 716 Burroughs Drive. Your dad's house, 524 Concrete Lane. No one knows how he got these addresses, but he knew everyone's. After high school, no one ever saw him or heard from him ever again. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When this kid was in 5th grade, him and his friend were hanging out outside when they came across a mysterious bush. This is what happened. Yo, Billy, come here, man. Hey, what's up, Reggie? You find that squirrel? Nah, look at this. It's berries. Yo, bro, eat one. Heck no, bro, I have a better idea. Get some Ziploc bags. Him and his friend then put as many berries as they could into Ziploc bags. They took them to school and sold them for $1 a berry behind a baseball field fence. They made about $150, but they didn't realize until later that these berries could have been poisonous, and students could have gotten very sick. That's crazy. My favorite comebacks. Hey, Chad, come here. Dude, I know Chad used to bully you, but you've been really hard on him the past few weeks. I don't care, Steven. Get out of my face. Kyle, I'm done with this, man. I don't want to deal with you anymore. You think I wanted to deal with you all those years? No, man. But what you're doing proves that you're no better than I am. You're the same as me. We're the same. We are not the same. Hey, Chad, if your parents got divorced, would they just go back to being brother and sister? My parents aren't related, you idiot. Yeah, right. If you were any more inbred, you'd be a sandwich. Speaking of sandwich, what'd you bring for lunch today? A sandwich? Well, I'm gonna slap you so hard that your sandwich will turn into a salad. Check your lunchbox. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When this kid was in high school, he was in the auto shop class, where you learn how to fix and work on cars. Well, he was the teacher's best student, And there was an extra bay in the shop. So the teacher allowed him to use that bay for his projects and his assignments. He then had an idea. He decided that he and his friends would open up an oil change and tire rotation business in the school's extra bay in that classroom. They serviced most of the teachers' cars, and they would post their flyers around town, and actual residents of the neighborhood would come in to get their cars serviced by them as well. They had somebody working the oil change station every day from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., and they were doing a ton of oil changes every single day. Because of this hustle, they made over $250,000 in 3 years, and are now looking to start and open up their own garage. The dumbest ways people made money. This woman needed some extra money, so she went on Craigslist. She saw an ad that said, "Allow me to film you shaving your head. The pay, $600. I'm definitely interested. She then met up with this dude in a parking lot somewhere, and he filmed her shaving her head. And she made $600. Up next, this kid and his friend were 12 years old. They were walking to 7-Eleven when a car comes out of nowhere and hits his friend. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, are you okay? This kid's friend wasn't hurt at all. He wasn't even hit that hard, but this guy was tweaking. Don't call the cops, okay? What do you want? Anything. 20 bucks? 20 bucks each. Okay, fine, yeah, here. 20 and 20. Okay, we good? Honestly, they should have asked for way more. When this kid was 10 years old, he lived next to this woman who had a pet parrot. This woman worked all the time, and the parrot was alone most of the day. Well, this lady was worried that her parrot was lonely and depressed. So she paid this 10-year-old kid 25 bucks every day after school to go into her house and read her parrot a story. And then the princess poisoned all of the elves in the city until they all died. I bet you like that story. Creepiest Halloween party ever. When this girl was in high school, she wanted to throw a Halloween party for all of her friends, but she didn't want to do it at her own house. So what she did was she asked her 65-year-old neighbor, who lived a few doors down, if she could have the party there. Well, the day of the Halloween party comes and everyone arrives in their costumes. This entire time, they thought it was her own house. Hey, killer party, your house looks amazing. Oh, it's actually not my house, it's my neighbor's. It was a good time, until about 11 o'clock when the 65-year-old neighbor walked down the stairs. Who's that? That's my neighbor, just ignore him, I guess? And then he walked over to the stereo and turned it off. He then put a record on his gramophone. Well, the old man began walking around the party and taking pictures of every single person there. Oh, hey. Hey, This kid got the weirdest revenge on somebody in his class. In 5th grade, there was a girl in his history class that he did not like at all. She was always kind of making fun of him, bullying him a little bit. Well, one day he had enough, and what he did is nasty. On this day, he came to school in shorts, and it was time for history class with that girl that he doesn't like. It's about halfway through the class, and this is what he does. He kind of sits up a bit off the chair and takes a dump in his pants. He then wiggles his leg a bit, so the turd falls down onto the ground. He then took his foot and kicked that turd under the desk of that girl. He pointed to her and said, "Kayla pooped her pants, it's on the floor." What? No, that's not mine. That's not my poop. I guess his plan worked because for the rest of the year and the year after that, everyone called her Poop Girl. It was so bad that she had to change schools. Things you can do in a lucid dream. As we all know, a lucid dream is a dream in which you know you are dreaming, and therefore you can do whatever you want. Well, here are some fun things that I like to do when I'm having a lucid dream. I like to make a door appear right in front of me. Just any old door. I then like to walk through the door and see where my brain takes me. Obviously, I really enjoy flying. It's one of the best things to do. You can also shapeshift in a lucid dream. Turn into any animal, TV character, or person that you want. One thing that a lot of people don't know is you can actually practice skills in a lucid dream. Even sports. This is the craziest thing. Talking to dream characters. Random people that your brain places in your dream. It's said that talking to a dream character is like talking to your subconscious mind. This app has taught countless people how to lucid dream. If you want it, go here and then here to get it. Earth is very close to a lithium shortage, and the shortage could happen as early as 2025. This is because the demand for lithium is skyrocketing. Lithium is needed to make electric vehicles, and as the demand for electric vehicles increases, so does the demand for lithium. So you can see where the problem comes in. It is projected that by 2030, global demand will exceed over 3 million metric tons, which is crazy considering the amount of lithium the world produced in 2021 was only 540,000 metric tons. This is where LIFT comes in. LIFT is a dynamic mineral exploration powerhouse, which is focused on acquiring, exploring, and developing lithium projects in Canada. I'd keep an eye on this if I were you. The purpose of this video is to bring awareness, because this is all in its very early stages. This video is sponsored and brought to you by EQ. And let me tell you, it's gonna be huge. Creepy encounter with a stranger. A few years ago, this guy was visiting his girlfriend who had just moved to New York. They had a wonderful long weekend, but now it was coming to an end. They were riding the subway together, and it finally got to her stop. He was gonna stay on the subway and ride the train to the bus station so he can go home. After they say their goodbyes, his girlfriend stands up to exit through the doors. At the same time that she stood up, however, a very large man also stands up and walks directly behind her. This guy waves to his girlfriend as she gets off the train. The large man then looks at him, points to his girlfriend, and mouths the words, "I'm going to kill her." He freaked out. He got up to chase after his girlfriend, but the doors shut in his face. He had no cell service in the subway either. At the next stop, he sprinted through the subway doors, took the escalator up to the street. He then ran 14 blocks to his girlfriend's apartment and stayed with her that night. Luckily, nothing bad ever happened. This story is super weird. This woman is the manager of a clothing store in the mall, and on this particular day, she was working the night shift. The mall closed at 10 p.m. She had to stay till 11:30 because she was counting inventory. Well, it was 11:30 and she was walking out of the mall to the parking garage. The parking garage was eerily empty, and she couldn't find her car anywhere, when suddenly out of nowhere, an old homeless man pops out from around a corner. "Are you looking for your car?" To avoid any problems, she said yes, and she started following him. They walk up the stairs to the second floor of the parking garage. There's about 10 other cars parked on this level, but this homeless guy walks up to her car specifically and says, "Yep, here it is." He also says, "By the way, you're very low on motor oil. It's not safe. Have a good night." How did he know what kind of car she drove? She got in the car, sat down, and turned it on. And just like the homeless man said, her car was low on motor oil. The girl is the worst. The guy that shared the story said it was halfway through his freshman year of high school. He didn't have any friends and he was bullied fairly often. He sat in the back of every single class he was in and he stayed quiet most of the time. That's why he was confused when suddenly this popular girl started talking to him. "Steven, right?" Yeah. Yeah, I'm Kayla." After about a week of flirting with him, she asked for his number. A few days after that, they were walking down the hallway together when she led him to a stairwell that was rarely used. "Come with me." Okay. When they got in the stairwell, he just stood there, and then she leaned in for a kiss. But right before they made contact, she spit in his face. Oh, God! That's when a bunch of her friends popped out of nowhere. What a loser! Like I'd ever kiss you. Here's another senior prank for you guys. A few days before graduation, the senior class listed the principal's house for sale on Craigslist. They priced it $75,000 below market, and they scheduled an open house on the day and time of the graduation ceremony. When the principal got home from graduation, there were at least a dozen people in his driveway wanting to see the house. "What are you all doing here?" "We're here for the open house. We saw the Craigslist ad. We're here for the open house." "Yeah, I'm interested in buying. What's the nightlife like in this area?"
"I'm here because my sister's in the toilet."
The ad said free lasagna. Does your wife come with the house?
No. This senior class is crazy for this. This high school had an interior courtyard in one of the buildings. Well, the senior class wanted to leave their mark. They wanted to be remembered for the best senior prank of all time. Well, there was a Paul Bunyan restaurant about 15 miles away. So this is what happened. At 4 a.m., most of the senior class showed up at this Paul Bunyan restaurant. They then managed to free the statue from its spot and secure it to one student's pickup truck. They then drove back to the school and they put the Paul Bunyan statue in the middle of the courtyard. The next day, the school had to hire a crane to get the statue removed. Walmart customers are the worst. This person used to work at Walmart as a cashier. Well, one lady came up wanting to use a coupon for $1 off. And I have a coupon right here for $1 off. Ma'am, this coupon's expired. I'm so sorry. Expired? 4 days ago. Yeah, 4 days ago is not today. That coupon is expired. I can't do anything about it. I'm not leaving here until you take my coupon. There's a really long line behind you, ma'am. Can we please just keep this moving? I can't take your coupon. Take my coupon now. At this point, this guy was just super fed up. So he reached into his pocket and pulled out a $5 bill. Here's $5. If I give you this, will you shut up about the coupon and leave the store? For some reason, this made her super, super mad. How dare you say that to me? Excuse me. You just tried to hit me. The cops were then called and she was arrested. Hey, Kyle, don't talk to me. What's his problem? I don't know. He's been super mean recently. Hey, Chad. Kyle, what do you want, man? Oh, nothing. Just wanted to see your ugly face. Hey, listen, I'm sorry for bullying you all those years, but now you're being really mean to me. Payback's a bitch, huh? What are you gonna do to me, man? What am I gonna do to you? That's a good question. Whatever you do, just don't slap you? Oh, I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna slap you so hard, even your pet will disown you. That doesn't even make sense. Oh, it makes perfect sense. You'll see. I'm home. Worst day ever. Mr. Whiskers, hi, buddy. Hi. Don't. Carlos told me you got slapped today. How embarrassing. I am no longer your pet. I'm staying with Clarice. Come back. Huh? His first date ended so fast. This guy said that he was on Tinder, and he met this girl that he thought was pretty cute. They talked for a while, and they made plans to go out to dinner for their first date. Hey, Kayla. Hi. So nice to meet you in person. Hi, your table's ready. This way. They sat down, they got to talking. Somehow the conversation led to talking about their pets. And this guy said, I have 2 cats, Felipe and Carol. They're adorable. That's so cute. I have a dog named Papa. Oh, I bet he's really cute. One thing though, I am incredibly allergic to cats. Oh no. And if things become serious between us, I'll just make you get rid of your cats. You'll make me get rid of my cats? Yeah. Pretty bold of you to say that to me on a first date. No. I bet your dog's ugly as hell, too. And what kind of name is that, huh? Papa. Papa. This date is over. So, how did I get here? Well, believe it or not, growing up, Kyle and I were neighbors. Mom, Dad, I'm going to Kyle's. Okay, sweetie, have fun. And we were actually really close throughout elementary school and the beginning of middle school. So what you want to do at recess? How about I crush you in dodgeball again? Sounds good. It was also around this time that I developed an interest in writing poetry. I wrote poems all the time. The cat's meow was as loud as its need for mice, but the mice only came when he was hurting the most. That's so good. I was proud of my poems. But before I go there, let me introduce you to my parents. That's my mom, Carla. Good mom. She worked a lot, she did what she could, but my dad is the one that kind of ran the household. That's my dad. His name is Steven. Him and I didn't really get along growing up, and he wasn't really supportive of my interests. Hey Dad, I wrote a poem, you wanna hear it? Chad, no, I'm busy, okay? I don't have time to read your poem, okay? Go outside and do something. Why are you writing poetry anyway? That's so lame. Alright. So with my mom working a lot and my dad, who never showed any interest in me, I spent a lot of time hanging out at Kyle's. I enjoyed hanging out there, and Kyle's dad was really cool. Hey Chad, come on in, buddy. Kyle, Chad's here. Hey, thanks, Pops. What's up, Chad? Come on in. Things went on like that for a while. I kept writing poetry. My dad was still distant. I hung out with Kyle all the time, but it started to get to a point where I was beginning to resent Kyle. Not for anything he did, but because I was jealous of the way him and his dad got along. All right, Kyle, go along, man. Go along, buddy. Nice throw, Dad. Nice throw. No, nice catch, buddy. I love you. I love you too, Dad. That moment made me jealous. It was then that I decided that I was going to write a poem so good, and I was going to make my dad read it. And once he read it, there'd be no way he wouldn't be proud of me. So I got to work. I spent hours writing this. I was finally done. It was perfect in my eyes. I went downstairs to show my dad. Hey, Dad. Yes, Chad? I wrote a poem, and I really need you to read it. What happened next was the moment that shaped my entire future. It changed everything. Chad, for the last time, I need you to grow up and be a man and stop writing poetry. A week after my dad slapped me, he left us. One morning he packed his bags and he just left. And I haven't seen him since. I know. It's messed up. The slap never began with Kyle. It began with my dad, which brings me back to here. My newfound slap powers messed Kyle up pretty bad, but after a few days he was okay. And I knew at that moment that Kyle wasn't my enemy. He never was. This entire time, it's been my dad. So there I was, standing in the hallway of my high school, my hand filled with power. I let go of my anger towards Kyle, and I started a long journey. The journey to find my father and do what I've wanted to do for years. Slap him back. This is a true story. This is the third assembly I've had to call for this. I am done. So, let's back up. What was that assembly for? Well, the person that shared this story said that all throughout middle school, all 3 years, there was a kid that would tuck unwrapped Hostess zingers inside of every single toilet paper dispenser in the school, every single day. So every day, whoever was lucky enough to be the first person to use that toilet paper would have an unwrapped Hostess zinger fall into their hands. What the heck? Now, like I said, this was a mystery for 3 years, which now brings us to the assembly. I want to know right now, please, give yourself up. And finally, the kid did. He figured it was time to put this all to rest. It's been me the whole time. This mom go too far? This woman shared that she has a 14-year-old son named Jack. And Jack is an incredibly picky eater. Like, very picky. This mom, her 14-year-old son Jack, and 2 of her other children were taken out of school on this particular day. They were driving 3 hours to visit a relative in the hospital. Well, about halfway through this 3-hour drive, the kids began to get hungry. So they pulled over and stopped at a Chick-fil-A. Now, at this time, there was a trend where people were putting mac and cheese onto the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Well, Jack said that that's what he wanted.
Are you sure that's what you want?
Yes.
Okay, because if you don't like it, I am not stopping again to get you more food.
Yes. And just like his mom expected, oh, I hate that, it's disgusting. Mom, we have to go back, I did not like that.
I don't care, Jack, I warned you. We're gonna keep driving.
And no matter how hungry Jack got, the mom wouldn't stop. When they finally got back home that night, Jack ran inside crying to his dad. His dad was then mad at the mom, and it started a whole fight. I think that kid needs to grow up a little bit. He's 14 for Christ's sake. What do you think? Story's kind of messed up. This girl shared that her little sister is 11 years old, and she's the golden child. Her parents love her little sister. They'll do anything for her. Every time it's her little sister's birthday, the parents go all out. But when it's her birthday, the parents tend to forget or claim that they don't have enough money to throw her any party. Well, this year she wanted to throw herself a party. So she babysat. She mowed lawns. She got money any way possible because she was gonna pay for her own party. Even got herself her own customized cake. It was the night before the party and everything was ready to go. She noticed that the cake she got for herself had a giant piece missing.
Dad? Why is there a piece missing from my cake?
Oh, your sister was crying about it. She wanted a slice, so I just cut her off a little piece. It's fine, your friends won't notice.
My friends won't notice. Dad, what is your problem? I paid for everything. This is my birthday.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You paid for this entire party, so you can do whatever you want. Don't be a brat. She canceled her birthday party. She didn't want to have it at her house anymore because she was so mad at her family. Her friends thought that that was stupid. They said that she should have just had it anyway. But she was just so mad at her parents and her little sister that she said she wouldn't even have been able to have a good time at her own party. The girl that shared this story said that one Friday night in high school, she was chilling in her room when her boyfriend sent her a text. The text was him asking her to pick him up from his house. A little backstory here, her boyfriend was the quarterback of their football team. Anyway, she gets in her car and she drives there. When she gets to his house, not only did he walk out, but 4 of his best friends walked out as well, and they all got into her car. So where are we going? 4276 Mingle Lane. And step on it! Yeah, step on it! What's with his mask? Take the mask off, Carl, you look stupid! Go. So she drives to this address. When she pulled up, there was obviously a party going on there. Her boyfriend and his friends get out of the car and they rush inside. That house was the house of their high school's rival football team's quarterback. Her boyfriend and her friends ran in and beat the crap out of him. After they beat him up, they ran back to the car. Go, go, Skabadupapanga! The boyfriend then snitched on everybody that was in the car, even his girlfriend. They all got arrested and they all had to go to court. Person saw the craziest thing in a waiting room. This guy took his dad to a doctor's appointment at the hospital. His dad was taken to go get some x-rays. So while he was waiting, he went to the vending machine. That's when he heard some commotion. He turned around to see what was going on, and that's when he saw a moose standing in the waiting room staring at the receptionist. It's looking at me. It's looking at me. Security was called, and when they got there, they obviously did not know what to do. Everyone just stood around for about 10 to 15 minutes, until the moose decided to walk out of the building on its own. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower sent me this in about her brother. When he was in 7th grade, him and his friends were working a garage sale for one of his friend's grandpas. When the garage sale was done, the grandpa said that they could take anything that was left over. Well, this dude picked a George Foreman grill. He would then use that grill every day to toast sandwiches at lunch. And then he started doing it for his friends. So he had an idea. He would charge people $1 to toast a normal sandwich. Business was booming. Until one day his dad got a call from the school office saying that he needs to come in immediately. When he got there, he saw his son sitting on a chair with the grill in his lap. The principal said that he could not be doing this anymore. Well, his dad challenged them. He asked them, where in the handbook does it say that students can't grill sandwiches at lunch? And they couldn't find it. So he was allowed to keep the grill at school. He made about $1,000. Until the next year, in the handbook, it said students can't toast sandwiches in a George Foreman grill. So instead, he bought a Hamilton Beach grill and used that instead. That kid's a legend. Kid got some petty revenge. This guy said it happened in 7th grade. He was in class and there was a test. Now this guy was very smart. He always studied and he did very well in school. Well, on this day, everyone had to grab a test off the desk to take back to their seats to complete. Now there was a kid in that class who had been copying his tests for a few months now, and this was the day he was gonna get payback. So when he went up to grab his test, he grabbed 2 of them. He sat down and he started filling in one of the tests with wrong answers. And just like he had guessed, the kid next to him started copying his work. Well, what the cheater didn't know was that that kid was also simultaneously putting the correct answers into the second test he got. The cheater then turned his test in first. Here you go, all finished. The kid then looked at the cheater and crumpled up the first test. What are you doing? That was the decoy test. This is my real test. Good luck failing this class, idiot. Miss, I'm done. Oh, God. He obviously failed the test, and nobody ever cheated off this kid ever again. This person's high school, every single teacher and administrator at the school had the exact same desk. Well, a group of seniors wanted to pull a prank. It was a 9-person crew, and they broke into the school on the night of March 31st. Once they were in the school, they went into every single teacher and administrator's office or classroom. They removed the center drawer from all of the desks and replaced the drawers with another teacher's drawer. Keep in mind, there are 75 faculty members at this school. Once these kids were done with their prank, every single desk drawer had been swapped with another. Well, the next day was April 1st, and it was absolute chaos. Wait a minute, this is not my stuff. Why is my stuff different?
Oh, my allergies are acting up today. Good thing I keep an extra inhaler in my drawer. What is this? I don't even watch baseball.
Hey, Steven, you said you're a baseball fan, right? Check this out. Whose inhaler is this? Like I said, chaos. This product worth it? Alright guys, listen up. So I was skeptical about this at first. I don't have an Apple Watch. I don't want to spend the money on one. So I bought this. It's got all this good stuff on here. You can scroll through the different faces. Look at all the apps, the same as an Apple Watch. Now, I'm not saying that this is, like, better than the Apple Watch, because it's probably not. But if you want a smartwatch and you don't want to pay all that money, this is legit. It's down here if you want to check it out. This is legit. This is the weirdest kid ever. The person that shared this story said that there was a weird kid that went to their high school. It was a very big high school, more than 3,000 students. If anyone said anything to this kid that he didn't like, he would stare at you dead in the eyes and recite your address. Can you hurry up, Steven? I want to use the water fountain too. 4776 West Branch Avenue. Steven, no sleeping in class. 417 Billiards Lane. Hey, yo, Steven. Nice hat, idiot. Your parents are divorced, right? Yeah, why do you care? Your mom's house, 716 Burroughs Drive. Your dad's house, 524 Concrete Lane. No one knows how he got these addresses, but he knew everyone's. Kinda creepy, right? After high school, no one ever saw him or heard from him ever again. Listen up, because this story is awesome. A few years ago, when this woman was 16 years old, she had lost her left leg in an accident, and she's been using a prosthetic leg ever since. She's now about 22 years old. Well, her family was very well off, so the prosthetic leg she had was very advanced. She can pretty much do anything she wants with this prosthetic leg, but she has issues when it comes to anything regarding balance. So, in places like trains and buses, she needs to sit down. Well, one day she was riding a train. Yeah, miss, you need to move out of that seat right now. I need it, and you should not be sitting there. I'm sorry, but I actually need this seat myself. Lazy child, you are more than capable of standing. Yeah, miss, you gotta get up. She's an old lady. Yeah, you gotta get up. At that point, she had had enough, and pulled up her left pant leg. Well, why don't you both look at this? I don't have a leg. Yep, I'm out. The old woman's face got very red, and she was incredibly embarrassed. After that, she got off at the next stop. Weirdest compliments people received. This woman was stopped on the street by a stranger. Hey, excuse me. Yeah? I just wanted to say that I love your cheekbones. You look like an elf. Thank you. This person also got a weird compliment. Hey, bro, this is Jack. Hey, what's up, man? Jack, nice to meet you. I'm Carl. Oh, man. What? Let me see that. You have an awesome left ear. Thank you, man. That's really nice of you to say. This girl was on a date. Hi, Steven, right? Stacy, you look different than in your pictures. Well, I hope that's a good thing. Oh, no, it's good. You look like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. But in a cute way. Like a cute Gollum. And last but not least, have you ever been complimented by your dentist? Well, this dude has. Buddy, your oral cavity
is amazing to work with. There's so much space in here.
Oh, thank you.
This guy was angry for years. We're gonna call him Patrick. Well, 29 years ago, when Patrick was in 3rd grade, he was sitting at a lunch table with some other kids. In the middle of lunch, Patrick pulls out a small bag of carrots. That's when another kid, let's call him Jimmy, looks at him and says, "Look everyone, Patrick's a carrot boy." And for some reason, that incident really stuck with him. Nobody ever brought it up again. All throughout high school and into adulthood, he built up this anger, this raging anger. And whenever he ate carrots, the memory would pop up. Carrot boy! Well, a year or two ago, as a full-grown adult, there's an impromptu high school reunion. He decided to go. He gets there, he has a few drinks, he eats some food, but that's when he notices Jimmy. I don't know. That old anger welled up. That's when he saw a plate of carrots sitting out. He grabs the plate of carrots, he ran over to Jimmy, and... I guess I'm still carrot boy, huh? I'm still carrot boy? Bro, you good? What are you talking about? Carrot boy, remember? You called me carrot boy and you were all laughing at me in 3rd grade? Guess I'm still carrot boy. I'm sorry? I mean, I don't know what to say. They had all forgotten about it. 7 of his old classmates unfriended him on Facebook. And Jimmy blocked him on everything. Craziest things kids did in school. The person that sent me the story said that when he was in high school, there was this English teacher that everyone hated. She always gave the hardest homework assignments ever. No one could ever find out the correct answers. She would also insult all of her students for being stupid every day. Well, they went to the principal to complain, but the principal never did anything about it. So, they took matters into their own hands. There was a girl in their class who had asthma. So he talked to her. Stacy. Yeah? I have a plan, okay? So you know how Mrs. Johnson sucks?
I hate her so freaking bad.
Tomorrow, I need you to purposefully leave your inhaler in your locker, okay? And if you have an asthma attack, just ask her if you can go get it.
Kyle, it's happening.
Ask her.
I forgot my inhaler in my locker. Can I go get it, please? No. You had plenty of time before class to remember your inhaler, so just deal with it for now, okay?
An ambulance had to be called and she was taken to the hospital. School and that girl's parents found out that teacher refused to let her get her inhaler. They pressed charges, she was fired, and she went to jail. Kid is an absolute legend. When this kid was growing up, he had somehow grown a tail. Well, by the time he was in 6th grade, he had to get it surgically removed. The surgery was a success, but he had stitches where the tail had to be removed. He was given a doctor's note to bring to class, to let his teachers know that he was supposed to sit on a soft cushion, because stitches. Well, one of his teachers wasn't having it. Hey, no, you can't sit on that unless you have a cushion for everyone in this class. But sir, I have a doctor's note. I don't care. These chairs are way too hard. I have stitches. Listen, you rabbit's foot prick. You're gonna man up and sit down, okay? So what he did was, on purpose, he sat down on that stiff chair as hard as he possibly could. So hard that his stitches tore, and he started bleeding all over the place. Go to the principal's office right now. He was sent to the principal's office. When he got there, he told the principal what happened, and the principal was on his side. However, the worst part about this was the teacher didn't get in trouble at all. Black markets kids ran in their schools, another follower submission. In middle school, there was this one teacher who had this thing, where if kids, hey miss, I don't have a pencil, can I borrow one?
Kyle, you know how this goes, my friend. You can buy one of my pencils for $1. You want to do that?
Yeah. Well, the dude that told me this story said that he thought that this was kind of bogus, and it gave him a great business idea. He went to the Dollar Tree and bought himself tons and tons of pencils, and brought them to school. He would have that cup of pencils on his desk, and another cup for payment, but he was gonna sell them for 50 cents instead of $1.
All right, class, take out your pencils and answer these questions on the board, please.
Hey, Jeff, got me? Yeah, bro, 50 cents. Here, thanks.
You are not allowed to sell anything in my class.
What are you gonna do about it?
I can send you to the principal's office.
Okay, and what if I tell the principal that you're also selling pencils to students that don't have one?
You know...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, and by the way, your pencils are overpriced. Okay. This kid was so petty for this. The person that shared this story said that when he was in 5th grade, him and his best friend were super tight. They did everything together. This guy said his best friend was not very smart. He didn't do very well in school, and a lot of people considered him to be dumb. While him, on the other hand, was very smart. He was at the top of his class. Well, one day there was a test, and these two guys were in the same class. Surprisingly enough, his friend actually studied hard for this test, and he did not. So he decides to cheat off of his dumb friend. They turned their tests in and they were graded, but the teacher confronted them.
Yeah, so I called you up here because you two were the only ones in this entire class to get question 35 correct. And that was a very hard question that I put there on purpose. Now, Kyle, you're probably the smartest kid in this school, so that tells me that Greg must have copied off of your test. Is that true?
Yeah, Greg copied off me. I saw him. Greg tried to explain that no, it was him that got the question right, but nobody believed him. Greg got suspended for cheating, and the friendship that those two had was immediately ruined. Babysitter is so mad. This person is 20 years old and she's a babysitter. One night, she was babysitting this one family's kids while the parents went out. The mom left money on the counter for them to order pizzas and breadsticks. The pizza and the breadsticks were delivered, they all ate, she had a few slices, and that was that. When the parents came home that night, they asked her how it went. Okay, so how did everything go? I hope they didn't give you too much trouble. Oh, everything went perfect. The kids were well behaved. That pizza place, though, was so good. I've never gotten food from there before. What? When she said that about the pizza, the mom got puzzled. She then asked, why did you eat the kids' dinner? I only had 2 slices and a breadstick. I think that's okay, right? No, not really okay. I didn't expect to have to feed you as well. Don't eat our family's food, please. Okay, have a good night. What? She was so mad because both the kids were fed. There were even leftovers. So why was this such a big deal? Those parents are whack. Black markets kids ran in their schools, a follower submission. When this kid was in 5th grade, he started a business, a snack selling business. He bought a bunch of stuff from Costco. Candies, chips, juice, anything that was popular at that moment. And the second he started selling at school, business was immediately booming. He was selling out every single day. Well, one day he came to school ready to get his business on to make some money, but he realized business was abnormally slow. And that's when he found out that there was another group of kids who also started the same exact business. Well, he wasn't gonna let this fly. So he made himself some business cards and started having bundles with deals that kids could purchase. He hired 4 employees, 1 in his grade, 1 in 6th grade, 1 in 7th grade, and 1 in 8th grade, and they were paid every single Friday. They had 5 lockers, 1 for each person in each grade, and each one of those lockers were stuffed to the brim with candy and snacks. He's in 8th grade now, and he's still going. In total, he made $7,200. This guy's boss is the worst. The guy who shared the story is an older man, and he worked in a warehouse. Well, his boss made this rule. Employees could only have 20 minutes of bathroom breaks a week. That's 4 minutes a day. Well, this man thought it was ridiculous, so he went to talk to his supervisor, who, keep in mind, was much younger than him. I wanted to talk to you about the bathroom rule. I was wondering if I could have an exception. I can't do that, I'm sorry. You realize I'm an older man, right? It takes me longer to go to the bathroom. I really don't want to talk about this right now. I can't change the rule, so I don't know what to say. I don't want to talk about this right now. Do you want me to write you up? Have a good life. I quit. Fine. Go. Well, as he was walking out, about 10 of his coworkers asked him what happened. When he told them, they were super mad, and they walked out with him. A couple minutes later, alrighty guys, we have 2 hours left in the day. I hope we're making progress. Where is everyone? About half the staff walked out with Carl. I think they all quit. Oh my god, I'm screwed. She explained the situation to her bosses, and they weren't happy with her. She was fired, and all the other guys got their job back. Oh, and the bathroom rule? Yeah, they changed that. Endless but funny ways to mess with people. The next time you go into an elevator, don't turn around. Just walk to the back wall and stay there. The next time you're having a conversation with somebody, look at their chin the entire time. So anyway, my earlobe was really kind of feeling weird, and then I called the doctor and he told me that, what are you looking at? What is going on? What do you mean? I'm looking at your eyes. Anyway, back to your earlobe. No, you're not, man. You're looking at my chin or something. What's going on? I'm looking at your eyes, idiot. What happened with your earlobe? And then just keep doing that until they get very mad. It'll probably be walk into a butcher shop and do this. Hey, what can I do for you? Yeah, I'm in a bit of a hurry, but can I take 2 pounds of the most human tasting meat that you have? I don't know what you mean. Like a meat you have that tastes close to human? I don't know. Are you f***ing with me? You know what? I'll just take pastrami. That'll be fine. And last but not least, the next time you're sitting in a porta potty or a one toilet bathroom and someone knocks, just tell them to come on in. They probably won't, but they'll be super uncomfortable. Craziest things people gave to Goodwill. Welcome to Goodwill, how can I help you? Hi, yes, I want to donate this box of stuff, please. Of course, yeah, we can just, we'll get this all sorted away for you, and then... Damn, she's quick. Well, later that day, they were going through the box of stuff she donated. It was mostly normal stuff, but there was one thing in it that was super weird. Yo, what the heck? Steven, come here. Hey, what's up, Sync? Look at this. Yo, dude, this is someone's ashes. It was somebody's ashes. A cremated person. And on the box, it said Gregory. I think that lady gave her dead husband to us. When something like this happens, they call corporate, and they're supposed to send someone to take care of it. Well, no one came, and days passed. They ended up putting Gregory on a shelf in the office. Gregory has become a part of the work family. Whenever there's a new employee, the first thing they do is introduce them to Greg. Whenever something strange happens in the store, they blame it on Greg. He says... They all truly love Greg. That's crazy. Black markets kids ran in their schools. A follower submission. This one's kind of different. Listen up. He told me that in 9th grade, him and 2 of his friends started to throw parties. They would find someone's house to do it at first, and then they would begin planning. At the start of this, they would charge $10 for a wristband, and if you showed up to the party with a wristband, you would get in. Now, the bracelets that they gave out had a symbol written on it that could only be seen under a black light, and at every party, it was a different symbol. They did this so people couldn't go out and buy their own wristbands. Genius. The party started going crazy. They then upped their prices to $20 per wristband, and then $40. And then they hired their friend to DJ the parties. They were making bank. And if the parties ever got too crazy, they would call the cops on their own party. And because it wasn't their own house, they would just leave. That's some shady stuff, but he told me that they made a ton of money. Secrets people are taking to the grave. When this guy was a kid, he went to the Family Dollar with his mom and a few of his cousins. They went off to do their own thing, and he was in the toy aisle. He started flinging marbles across the floor. He stopped, and then 2 minutes later, he hears a crash, and a woman scream, "Somebody help this man!" He went to go check it out. When he got to where the commotion was coming from, he saw a group of people standing around a man who had fallen off of a ladder. He was seizing, and there was blood everywhere. His mom then whisked him and his cousins away, and they left the store. Well, the next time they were at the Family Dollar, they asked one of the cashiers what had happened. Hi, yeah, so my son and I were in here a few weeks ago. What happened to that man who fell down? When he fell off the ladder, he
hit his head, and sadly he passed away. Oh my god, how did he fall? We found out later that he had accidentally set his ladder on top of a marble, made the whole thing a bit wobbly, and he fell off. It's crazy. If that marble wasn't there, he would be alive today.
Reverend clergy, fellow citizens, we observe today
Craziest things found in fast food. A lady from Virginia was eating McDonald's with her son. They were having a great time, snacking on some chicken, and as she was about to take another bite, her son screams, "Don't eat that." And when she looks down, she sees that there's a severed chicken head in her food. Completely disturbed, she calls McDonald's. Well, McDonald's offers to give her 2 weeks of free meals. She politely declined, and then she sued McDonald's for $100,000.
আমি চাই তুমি ভালো থাকো। আর শোনো যে জাহাজটা যদি সত্যি সত্যি বানাও তাহলে আমাদেরকে ইনভাইট করো, হ্যাঁ?
তুমি সারাক্ষণ সমুদ্রের সাথে ফিসফিস করে কথা বলবে আর আমি হিংসে করব। আমার হয়তো একটু সাহস বেড়েছে। বোকা ছেলেটা প্রেমে পড়েছে।
আর বিড়ি নিয়ে গেছে, বিড়ির প্যাকেট একটাও ছাড়ে নাই, সবগুলো দুমড়ে মুচড়ে বের হয়ে চলে গেছে। খাবো কি? ভিতরটা শিমুল তুলার মতো নরম হয়ে ছিল, যাওয়ার সাথে সাথে একটা
তুমি এতদিন যা করেছো তাতে আমার একটুও মন গলেনি, আর তোমাকে ভালোবাসার কোনো কারণ।
ও আপনি সে বড় ভাই? আপনার নাম তো আমি বহুত শুনছি, কিন্তু আমার
ভাই আমি এটাই বুঝলাম না, আপনি এই মাইয়া তানিয়ার মধ্যে কি পাইছেন? এলাকার সব মাইয়া আপনার।
মানুষ মাত্রই ভুল করে, তাতে কি?
ভাই এমন যে করব
মাথার ভিতরে অলরেডি একদম। তানিয়ার বাপরে আমি চ্যালেঞ্জ করছি, 7 দিনের মধ্যে তানিয়া আমারে আমি প্রেমে ভালাবো কেমনে বেটা? কস না কেন ক বেটা?
ভাই কি কম কোন মানে হ্যাঁ বাড়িতে কেমনে ভাই করবে এটা তো জানি না, এর মধ্যে আপনি কবিতা দিয়ে দিচ্ছেন। আমি তো কোন হারামজাদা আমার মায়েরা ডিস্টার্ব করে?
খালু আপনি শুধু শুধু রাগ করছেন।
আমি হইতাছি রিকশা, তুমি হইতাছে এসি বাস। মামা পাড়া দিত। আপনার ছেলের সাথে আমি আমার মেয়েকে বিয়ে দিব। ঠিক আছে ভাই স্যার।
ফুটে যাব না মানে এত হ্যান্ডসাম ফ্রেন্ডলি সুন্দর।
হারজিত চিরদিন থাকবে। একটা এতিম ছেলের জন্য আজকে আমি
আমার মতো একটা মানুষকে ভালোবাসা যায়।
সত্যি বলতেছো তানিয়া?
সেলিম
আবার আসবো স্যার। আগে আপনার বাসায় আসতে গেলে পা কাঁপতো, এখন আর পা কাঁপে না।
আরে তুমি ওর সাথে এভাবে কথা বলছো কেন? ও যদি শুভর সাথে ভালো থাকে থাক না।
আমি ভাবছিলাম তুই ভালো হয়ে যাবি, কিন্তু তুই মাল কোনোদিন ভালোই হবি না। যে খারাপ তারে ভালো বানানো যায়, আর যে চাই
বুঝাচ্ছি বিপরীতে কাছাকাছি সময় রং হয় বিলীন।
কোনো টেনশন করেন না, আপনাকে আমি বেশিক্ষণ রাখবো না, ধরেন 3-4 ঘন্টা হয়তো ম্যাচ।
মা এক সেকেন্ড দাঁড়াও, ফোন দিচ্ছি।
আমরা তো কিছুই জানি না কি সমস্যা, শুধু শুধু ছেলেটাকে এইভাবে বলো না তো।
তুমি চুপ করো।
আবেগ হচ্ছে করুণ শহর
পারবে না।
বিশ্বাস করো আমি আর কখনোই যাব না। মানে কেন ডিভোর্স নিল? 15 লক্ষ টাকা মানে কি? তুমি
মায়ার বাঁধনে বেঁধেছি মন ভালোবাসা।
ঝামেলা শেষ করো। আরে ভাই সাইন করো।
এটাও কিন্তু ইম্পর্টেন্ট। মানে ভালোবাসা হচ্ছে একজন আরেকজনের উপর ভরসা করে